Yeah.
What I think happened.
Must remember to record.
Must remember to record.
Must remember to record. Right. Let me just turn the volume off. Yeah.
What I think happened.
Must remember to record. Yes, I know.
Must remember to.
I take it you heard that, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep, good. So that means I'm sharing audio correctly.
Must remember to record about
Must
5
remember
times.
to record. Must remember to record. Right. Okay, I've got the live stream up. That's all good. After I start recording, did you want to start?
I can.
Cool. I guess we'll probably do it then, shall we?
Should we do it? Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do this shit. Okay, I got it. Why? I hate it. It drives me potty. Recording in progress. The computerized voice. Recording in progress.
That's Logan Sargent, that is.
Potty. It's now an AI robot.
Yes.
How long till we get an AI race?
Well, you saw what happened in Robo Race, didn't you? You've seen that. I'll talk about that on the podcast.
I suppose we've always had AI.
Pardon?
I suppose we've always had AI races because it went to managers an AI race.
Danny Ricciardo makes contact there with Kevin Magnussen, and there's a second contact.
So during the title sequence, we're just having a really random conversation about AI and AI races and stuff. And did you ever see the Robo Race demonstration?
No.
So there was supposed to be this demonstration where there was a car that was completely driven by AI, and it was on a track, physically on a track. And it was sitting there waiting for the demonstration to begin. Then all of a sudden, for no reason whatsoever, it accelerated very fast into a wall. It did a 45-degree like sudden lurch into the wall and crashed and ripped the wheel off. And it's like a commentator's like, "Oh, something's gone wrong here." So
where was this?
Google it, honestly.
Where
Google
was
it.
that?
Oh, okay. There appears to be.
Google that. I mean, we were talking about. Go on. There appears to be what? A lag?
Oh no, it seems to be back. No, there was a problem with the live stream, but it went down, but it's come back up now, so that's fine. Yeah, we're having loads of tech problems already with internet. It's great. Mine seems okay at the moment.
Yeah, well, I live in Ireland, so what do you expect?
Yeah, it's normally my problem.
Do you know what? I'm going to come off Wi-Fi on my phone and hope that chills things out.
Yeah, I think mine seems to be okay now.
Maybe.
But yeah.
Oh, modern world.
Yeah. So honestly, Google it. Look it up. It's Robo. I think it's Robo Race and like AI car crashes or something like that. I can't remember now. But
gonna have to look at it.
You'll find it on YouTube.
There will be a point where we have AI races, isn't there? Like proper AI on the road races.
I think so. I don't know. There was Robo Race was supposed to be the warm up act, the support race for Formula E at one point. I don't know if they ever got as far as to do any races for it, but there was loads of talk about it being the support race of Formula E. But so I don't know if it actually ever happened, because it just seems a bit. I mean, who are you going to root for? I'm going to root for Windows 95 making a comeback.
But that will be. Hang on. That's what McLaren really is. Yeah, it's AI mucking around with its Chrome.
Yeah.
You wait till ChatGTP starts sponsoring.
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to that time.
It will happen.
Yeah, more than likely. Yeah, have you
makes a change from cryptocurrency and oil funding?
Well, yes. Have you found the Robo Race clip?
No, I haven't even Googled it.
I've not. Oh, okay, fine. Well, we'll leave that for other people to do anyway.
No, I'm going to Google it now. Now. Is it called Robo Race?
I can't remember. I think it's Robo Race, or it might be just robotic car crashes or something like that.
Robo Race crash.
There we go. That'll be the one.
2 years ago at Thruxton. Oh no, there's quite. Hang on.
It's more than 2 years ago.
Is it? Is it a Thruxton thing?
Might have been. I think
Is
it was
it like a
UK.
super? Is it like a what's his name car? A Le Mans car.
Yeah.
Does it look like that? Oh, it looks like a Le Mans car. Okay.
Yeah, it's not. It's not an open wheeler.
No. It's loud. Jesus.
So, live stream people, I will probably cut this bit out of the audio podcast because it's a little bit boring. You can see it.
Just drives into a wall. Brilliant. Brilliant. It literally just drives into a wall. Brilliant.
Send me the link in the chat and I'll put it in the show notes so people can look at it if they want to.
Okay.
Just text it or text it to me or something. I'll put it in the show notes. So have a look in the show notes. You'll see the link to the Robo Race crash, which is always fun. Hello, Owain in the chat. How you doing?
Oh, it's Owain here. Hey, mate.
Yeah.
How it goes?
Yes, it is the car that goes off the line and crashed into the barrier. It's a Robo Race crash. It's infamous. Yeah.
So infamous. I've never even heard it.
Yeah. We were just talking about.
I'll put it in our chat, Tom.
AI races. Yes, or put it on the live stream if you want. Yeah, I'll put it.
I could do that.
Yeah, I haven't got the live stream up, so there we go. Put it in live.
There we go. Just in case anyone wants to understand what the hell we're on about.
Fantastic. Now, after I've cut most of that out for the audio podcast, we'll probably get on with some Formula One.
Yeah. Sorry. Anyway, where were we? Oh, well, that was an interesting, boring, dull race, wasn't it?
What? I thought it was good.
Like, get over yourself. That was so. Yeah, well, if you wanted a 20-minute nap,
take out Verstappen, and that was a really good race.
Oh, so
like for Spain, that was awesome. Like for Spain, that was awesome. So it was a good race.
Admittedly, Spain is boring.
I don't think that's a boring race. You look at what you had going through the field, and then the change in positions across the whole field, apart from up front.
Do you know what? I got a bit. What happened, I got a bit stuck on a few drivers, and you'll see what I mean when I get there.
Okay,
right,
well,
should we do this?
Go on then, hit me. Now you're talking about having a nap. I'm gonna have mine now.
Yeah, have a nap. Anyway, Winchbag already in the gravel before we even started the race because he was testing a line. Yeah, you're just shit. Get off the road.
Was it raining?
We'll come back to that in a minute. What a shit start from Norris, but what a great start from Hamilton. And I swear Norris was on fire in the pits. He suddenly, he was steaming. I don't know what was going on there. He crashed. Well, no, he crashed into the back of Hamilton, which Hamilton escaped quite lightly. He went to get a new nose, and then seemingly was on fire. I think he was just sat there for too long with his brakes, obviously with the brake magic and all that. Anyway, nothing really happened until lap 9. Anyway, it's all settled down. Really didn't get excited. Hamilton into third. Bit of a good battle with Stewart, with Stroll. Midfield battles left, right, and centre. Again, Winbadge gets away with no penalty. Like that man, it comes up with, let's have a penalty. Gone to the stewards. Car, whatever number he is, 63, isn't he? Gone to the stewards, and it's just like he gets away with everything. Not that he really deserves it, but whatever goes to the stewards, he seems to get away with. Anyway, lap 17, Leclerc going on to softs, started on hards. Why? I don't get that. Well, I still don't get it. Was that Ferrari being Ferrari? Surely mediums.
Yes.
And Sainz, what's going on? I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but Sainz, what's going on? I mean, I can't keep up with all the overtakes, but no one seems to be moving up. Everyone just seems to be overtaking each other and doing this all the way. Sorry. No one can hear that. So it's sort of they keep interchanging between 17th and 16th, 16th and 17th, 17th and 16th. It's just backwards and forwards, but no one seems to be moving up.
It's called a motor race, Carl. We went car racing.
No, we went car racing. We went round in circles for 66 laps and didn't do much. Winchbag saying it's raining, and yet does the fastest lap. What is he on about? Anyway, so Perez comes in for hards. Oh no, sweat bags. It's not winch bags. He's now sweat bags. That is all. He even questioned. Is anyone seeing any other rain, or am I just sweating? No, it's just you. And yes, it is the Jeremy Clarkson moment of putting a shower over his head. It must have felt like that to him. And yes, you did do a good overtake, Winchbag. You got into third. Well done for you. But stop being a dick on the radio. Anyway, Rhea's so bored she's gone to sleep, lap 39. So I ended up with a sleeping daughter on my arm. I don't know. Oh, Debris. Debris just took over Norris. How bad must it be when Debris is overtaking you? And not crashing into a wall. Alonso on a 3-stop. What's Charlie going to do? Who's Charlie?
Chuck. That'd be Chuck Leclerc.
Oh, Charlie boy. This Red Bull has to be illegal. But then I look at Perez. Maybe it's Verstappen that's legal. I can't work out. Russell onto softs. Why? Didn't get that either. There was a lot of people going on to random tire choices, and it just confused me. Let me eat my previous statement 1 second a lap faster. Lap 52, Ocon being a dick to Alonso. Verstappen pitted, 16 seconds ahead still. 16 seconds after another pit. 56. I suppose this is a strategy race. And as usual with Spain, dull as. Of course, Tom likes strategy race. Tsunoda with his arms out. And elbows and arms and legs and everything else. Watch out, Ricardo. He has your seat. Oh, black and white flag for limits. Does he give a fuck? Of course not. Why would Verstappen give a fuck about black and white flags? Like, there is literally no worries when he's so far ahead. 5-second penalty. Fuck it. I just drive straight across the grass every fucking corner. Like, what is the point of going around in a circle when you're that fast? Stroll, I'm after you. I don't know. Oh yeah, I'm not after you. That was Alonso. Playing all, I'm a good team player. Yeah, you should have won that race and you failed. I don't know what happened with the Aston Martins. And then still, like 3 laps later, Red Bulls are still stressing about the black and white flag. Why are you stressing? Just chill. It makes literally no difference. Stop stressing Verstappen out and going on about black and white flags when it literally makes no difference to any world. Even if there was a safety car, by this point in the race, doesn't make any fucking difference. He's still going to fly ahead. Hamilton's not got the speed on a straight line to go anywhere near him. Verstappen would still be 5 seconds ahead, even with a lap to go. Anyway, and of course, Tsunoda got a penalty. What the actual fuck? Why? Not fair. Don't agree with it. To be honest, I can't remember what the penalty was for, but yeah, I didn't agree with it at the time. Anyway, Verstappen, Ham, Russell, 1, 2, 3. Well done, Mercedes. Aston's what happened? 33 bollocks. That really pissed me off with that 33 stuff. Perez, pack your bags.
Wow, fantastic. So
that was in the boring race.
Yeah, so that's a lot in there. So I don't see how you can say that's boring when you see about all that. But I'll touch back on the first.
Laura was so bored she nearly fell asleep. Actually, she might have fallen asleep.
I'll touch back on the Tsunoda thing. He was side by side with Zhou. Zhou kind of turned to take the corner whilst leaving space. It was the other way around. Tsunoda turned to take the corner whilst leaving space for Zhou, and then Zhou cut across the escape road and then said he turned in on me. And yeah, you're right. That was not a penalty. I don't think so. I thought Tsunoda had a really good race, to be honest. I thought he had a decent race. He was in my driver ratings, he was one of the higher scored ones. He was racy. He was pushing. And he did not deserve that penalty. And he moved forward in the race as well. You know, I can't remember where he started now. He started quite low down, I think. I've quick look at the starting grid. He started in 15th, and he should have finished in 9th. So that's considering that he started in 15th, and he did have Charles Leclerc behind him as well. So he was always going to come through. Yeah. That was a solid effort for Yuki Tsunoda. So yeah, absolutely did not deserve that penalty. So I was annoyed about that.
I don't know what Tsunoda. What's your seatmate? Because Perez. What's your seatmate? Because he's coming after you. And Danny Rick, watch that seatmate because Tsunoda's coming for it.
I don't know if Tsunoda is ready for a Red Bull seat.
I'm not saying he's ready, but he's coming for it.
I think, give him.
My worry is that he's another Gasly, where he does all right in the AlphaTauri,
I don't
gets
think
into
he'll
a
fit
Red
in.
Bull and just goes.
I don't think he would fit in a Red Bull. It's great that he's now in a conversation for a Red Bull seat, whereas in the last 2 seasons he's basically been a bit of a laughing stock.
Yeah.
For a lot of people anyway. And
for me, I couldn't stand Yuki.
But he's having a much better season this year, and
but the problem is with him, I don't know where he's going to go. Even if he doesn't go to Red Bull, where's he ever going to go? What team would fit with his?
Well, that's the thing.
Boy craziness.
You could say maybe Aston Martin.
Oh, yeah.
When the Honda thing comes up in 26, it'd be a good shout for that seat. If he hasn't got to Red Bull by 26, he might jump ship for Aston Martin Honda.
That's a very good shout.
If Alonso is no longer racing, he might be the replacement.
If Alonso is no ready, I suppose Stroll.
They're not going to replace Stroll, are they?
No. Can you imagine Stroll and Tsunoda though? I don't think that's a good mix.
It'd be funny though. I'll be here for it.
That'd be hilarious.
I'll be here for it because Tsunoda's not going to play the political game, is he?
No, I've got no.
But I'll go back on the other point you made about the black and white flag scenario.
Yeah.
Imagine, I know it's not going to make a vast amount of difference in the championship at the end of the day, but imagine a scenario there where Max Verstappen goes off track and gets a 5-second penalty, and then I know Latifi's not on track anymore, so say De Vries bins it 2 laps from the end and we go to finish under safety car. Max Verstappen's got a 5-second penalty and finishes 6th, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I suppose.
So you don't want to be sitting there with a 5-second penalty.
No.
So I get that.
Would you not, if you did get the 5-second penalty, would you not just do another pit dive if you were that far ahead?
But he wasn't that far ahead. He was only 8. He's at what? 12
There's only
seconds
16
ahead?
seconds. Yeah.
What was he? He finished 24 ahead of Hamilton in the end, which is not enough for a pit stop. Or very touch and go. And if he's taken a 5-second penalty,
it's a 30-second pit stop, isn't it?
Yeah. So that wouldn't have worked. So that's the reason for that. So I get it. But yeah, it wouldn't. It probably.
Was there anyone else with black and white flags, or was it just? Was there anyone else with black and white flags?
I want to say yes. I want to say yes. I seem to remember somebody else getting a black and white flag, but I can't recall off the top of my head at the moment. But I do seem to remember that. Yes. You said about Russell potential penalty. So I don't think it was. I was in the same boat as you. I thought it would.
What was the penalty there?
So what it was?
What was that
it
for?
was for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. So he was fighting with Piastri on track on lap 1 in turn 1 and turn 2, and he did what Zhou did, where he took to the escape road and he ended up gaining positions. But basically, he's followed everything that the FIA told him to do, which is if you go off track, you have to go around that bollard and come back on track. And also, if you look, when he went off track, he was level with Piastri, slightly behind him. Slightly ahead of him. And when he came back on track, he was pretty much neck and neck with Piastri. So on track, he didn't gain any time. He made up the positions going into the corner and going out of the corner. So he did make a slight gain from it, but he followed the rules of everything that the FIA said that you had to do. So it was cheeky, but he followed the rules. So I mean, I think it's too light a penalty. They had so many people taking the escape roads all through F2, F3, and in Formula 1 as well. People were taken to that escape road and not losing any time. It needs to be a penalty by going through there to stop people doing it. So they need to do something like make it tighter, or put like a little put some bollards that you have to go around or something, just to lose a couple of seconds. That's all it is, just to make it a deterrent for going out there.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that whole thing that you have to go round that bollard anyway?
You have to go around the bollard, but it's just taking a wide line through the corner, so you don't really lose a lot of time. If you carry speed into it and just plant it, you can actually go through there. Mm-hmm. And you saw in the F2, people were going through there and actually gaining time.
Yeah.
Because first lap, people are fighting, so they're going slower because they're checking up and dive bombing and stuff. So they're going to generally go slower than they are in racing conditions. So lap 1, it's actually a really good strategy to go through the escape road.
Yeah. So I mean the beginning was a mess, especially for Lando.
Yeah, I've marked him down.
What was going on? What is going on with? I mean, what was going on with those McLarens? Because they were fast in qualifying. It's interesting that cars come alive along with the Mercs.
Yeah,
the Mercs,
but not in the race.
The Merc engines have all come alive apart from them.
Yeah, but not really in the race.
Yeah,
really.
I don't know what happened.
We never saw Lando's race pace, to be fair, but when he was in the race in clear air, yeah, he was catching up to the back of the field, but he was in the quicker car than them anyway. He should have done. He wasn't able to fight through. He did a 4-stop strategy in the end. And it's just, it's.
And where did Piastri end up?
13th, I think.
He went backwards as well then.
Yeah, he started in the top 10. 13th in the end. He finished. So he was the last. He was the first of the lap cars.
Yeah, and I know Leclerc was further back. Was right at the back, or
he started at the back. He finished 11th.
Yeah, and that was, just I mean, to be honest, there's a couple of teams that Ferrari just being Ferrari there. Anyway, let's keep on one thing. Might let my mind jump. McLaren.
ADHD with the monkey seat.
Jesus Christ. McLaren was super fast and was super exciting to see that in quali. Whether they just trick shotted it, I don't know. I don't think they did. I think that car does possibly have something in it now. It's definitely got a lot more chrome stickers all over it. Have you noticed that?
No, I haven't.
Even their the motorhome has chrome written across the front door. So it's very. They're obviously engaging a bit more in, obviously the wind tunnel time that they've got and things is helping them, and it is quite exciting to see that happen. And it's quite exciting. Everyone's still going on about Norris being a champion winner. Certainly not soon if he makes stupid mistakes like he did.
I mean, yeah, that was an error, but you can't deny that the performances he has been putting in certainly on a par with Charles Leclerc level of performances, and Charles Leclerc makes odd mistakes here and there, but we still think that he is a potential world champion. Not so much in the last couple of years. But
I don't think Leclerc is a world champion.
But Verstappen makes
no
mistakes
one's denying him making mistakes.
And Hamilton makes mistakes, and he's won 7 or 8 or 6 if you're massive.
Yeah. It was definitely a learning curve for him on that track.
Yeah, I mean, it was, to be fair, it was clumsy, but he got such a great start, but Hamilton got a better start, and then Hamilton had to check up ahead, and then you just got caught out. It's just one of those first lap incidents. Nobody was at fault.
I do wonder. I do wonder whether he would have ended up 5th or 4th or 5th.
I think
in the race. I don't think he would have been podium.
He wouldn't have had the pace of Hamilton. I think Russell probably would have jumped him because he had the superior race pace. He probably would have been around. He would have been around.
He would have been fighting with Perez.
He was behind Lance Stroll on track at that point.
5th?
Lance Stroll at that point was 3rd because he got ahead of Hamilton into 3rd. So he probably would have been in that Lance Stroll ballpark. I'd like to think that he probably would have outraced Lance Stroll if he was in the same part of the track as him. So I think he probably would have been in that either 6th place or somewhere around Carlos Sainz in sort of 5th, 6th, 7th.
Yeah.
So ahead of both Alpines, it would have been. Which, given that they're supposedly in a fight, which
their pace was.
I don't think they're in a fight at the moment because the Alpines are just far too fast. But yes, the Alpines' pace was okay. Yeah. But I mean, when you look at the qualifying performance though from the Alpines, it was Gasly in 10th and Ocon in 6th, and you're thinking, okay, they got 2 faster cars behind them, one of which didn't come through and passed them in the end. But then you finish off with Ocon in 8th and Gasly in 10th. That's not really a great return from where they were, I don't think.
No. Where did Gasly started where?
He started 10th and finished 10th. Because I mean but I say that was because of the penalty, wasn't it? He actually did qualify 4th, to be fair. But with that, even qualifying 4th and 7th effectively, and then penalties aside, then dropping into finishing 8th and 10th, that's not a big return. Once again, it's the Alpine team not maximising the Sunday, which is going to haunt them all season, I think.
Well, yeah, but they, as Laura just pointed out, their Alpine's pace was great, but even Charles couldn't find Gasly.
Yes,
I
saw that.
I sort of agree.
Yeah, but Leclerc had a poor weekend by his standards. Like, he was nowhere. Like, pace-wise, he was nowhere in qualifying. He was nowhere in the race. He couldn't move forwards. The pace of that car, what was it? He started...
What was he saying? He was saying something was wrong with it.
Well, he said that, but... I'm not convinced. But yeah, he was 19th, Perez was 11th, so they moved forward in similar amounts in the race, those two, but Perez always looked like he was going forwards. Leclerc at times was going backwards. It's just every time you saw him, it's like he'd make a few places, then he'd drop down again.
But that's what I felt about the whole race, is people would make a few places and then drop back down, and it just felt like that almost the overtaking was too much. You couldn't keep up with who was overtaking who, because
I think that was down to the strategy of having Red Bull. I'm convinced started on a one-stop strategy, and they only went to a two-stop because they saw the Mercedes make the three-stop, and they were just going for that.
Yeah.
Was it 3 or 2? I can't remember what they did in the end. But when they stopped for the second time, it was 3, I think. When they stopped for the second, the last time they stopped.
Second. Two stops.
It might have been a two-stop, yeah. When they made their last stop, Red Bull were like, well, they're on much faster tyres. If there's a safety car, we're going to be left to dry, so we may as well make the stop. We've got the position. Why take the risk? So I see that, and again, that is the sensible choice. You put yourself on the strategy where you can do a one-stop, and then if someone else does something different to try and beat you, you just cover it off.
Yeah,
because you've got the track position, you've got the pace, you've got the superior performance. So it's like strategy-wise, it was really good from Red Bull. Just Perez couldn't quite activate the strategy.
Yeah, I mean Perez can't activate his right foot, so No.
I was on the Grid Talk qualifying show, and I had a bit of a tirade about Perez. They stupidly asked my opinion, and I may have gone so far as to say that Sergio Perez will never win another Formula One race in his career.
Oh, really?
So yeah,
that's a strong.
I am hated by all Mexicans now. Not that I wasn't before.
No.
But yeah, definitely. Not liked by the Mexicans. But I just don't see it, because you look at the calendar now, there's only realistically one race that Perez could potentially win without shenanigans, and that is probably Singapore. And he's decent around there, but it's not like he's got this incredible record in Singapore.
Yeah, but hang on. Yeah, the thing is, plus
he's been in Formula One for a long time.
You have other street kings. Now. The Aston Martins are very good in the street.
I mean, we don't know about Las Vegas, but I just don't see him beating Max Verstappen in a straight fight. In the 2 years they've been together, he's outdone Verstappen in 2 races, maybe 3.
Yeah, and how many of those have been? How many of those has been because of other people's errors, not driver error?
Well, no, they say he's beaten Verstappen more times than that, but times he's actually outraced Verstappen.
Yeah,
I would say it's probably twice.
Yeah,
because Baku, when he won that was because Verstappen's tyres blew, and what was the other one? Saudi Arabia was one of them, but again, Verstappen was at a disadvantage in that one to begin with, and he was coming back from further back. So
I have to agree with Owain there. He said he's led races and got nowhere with clean air and a dominant car. Yeah, you can imagine if Perez was out in front like Verstappen was. By fluke, Verstappen crashed in this race and Perez was somehow at the front. I can't imagine him being 25 seconds up the road from the Mercedes.
No, he wouldn't have been.
Yeah,
if Verstappen doesn't win this race, if Verstappen doesn't finish this race, it's a Mercedes 1-2 with Perez in third. In a dominant car. Yeah. That's not right. Yeah. I don't care. Like, he started. Dominant car. I mean, where did he start? 11th, was it Perez started, or 12th? It was 11th he started. What happens when Max Verstappen starts 11th? Yeah. He wins by 15 seconds. Perez can't even get on the podium with that.
I know, it's mad.
On a track that is perfectly suited. Probably the most dominant the car's been all year.
But it is quite funny. Everyone's like, oh yeah, and we were like, and I was like that, oh, Perez, world champion contender. No, it's all just crashed and burned.
At no point was I ever convinced that he was in a championship
in
fight.
qualifying to end up where he did was just abysmal.
Another poor show from Perez in qualifying again.
Yeah, like how the hell? Like he didn't get into Q3. What is wrong with him?
In that dominant car.
Yeah, what is wrong?
Yeah, perhaps the most dominant Formula One car in history.
Yeah, like insane, and like you can understand why when you see what Adrian Newey's done with all the floor. Well, I'm just saying Adrian Newey, but the team, yeah, has done with all the floor and the aerodynamics on it. You can understand like the amount of intricacy. I saw a shot of Red Bull's floor and then Williams's floor. You're just like, oh yeah, Williams forgot about
flat.
And you're wondering why Albon's at the back, even though actually, Albon's doing quite well still for what happened, for the car he's driving. But you suddenly do go, did you just forget about the floor? I don't know what you did.
The single biggest downforce generator of the entire vehicle.
What did you actually do? Did you just go, oh, we'll just stick the piece of wood there that we have to stick there and don't forget about it first. Grand. Just stick a piece of wood in. That'll give us ground effect.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, how long till everyone gets a new floor? Are we all waiting till next year?
It's a hard thing to copy. I mean, they might, if people decide to copy it, they might do. But again, then it has to tie in with the rest of the philosophy of their car. If they just do a Jekyll and Hyde Frankenstein
car. Like Mercedes? That's a Frankenstein car. Yeah,
but at least it's all part of a concept. It is a one big compromise, but it's a compromise that they have designed, like from knowing what they've got to what they're trying to produce. It's something that they've come up with based on the geography of their current vehicle. But if someone were to just take a Red Bull floor and put it on their car, it just wouldn't work.
Yeah, well,
they can certainly take learnings. They can take inspiration and learnings from it.
Is it me, or does the Ferrari now look like a massive bath? Like it's tipping in now, and it seems to be getting rounder and wide. I don't even know. It looks like a circular disc bath, and with this little do you know those really posh plates that you get in like posh restaurants that have the tiniest little bowl and then the biggest like outside curve area? Do you know the ones I'm on about? It looks like one of those, where the cockpit is, and then it comes out in this lovely bowl. It's just like, what are you like?
Well,
guys, I'm not even sure that's a clever philosophy.
Well, it did wonders for their race pace, didn't it? Because it started second, finished fifth for Sainz, and Leclerc only managed to get up to 11th from 19th, and couldn't even catch. Is
that new, or did I lose?
Yeah, that's new. They had a new sidepod concept for this race.
Yeah. The bowl, the posh bowl, and it looked ridiculous. And it was like I understood the philosophy of those lovely deep chat. No, this just looks like a fucking bowl. No, so I mean Ferrari. Just when will Ferrari stop being Ferrari? And I don't understand.
In 2045,
I thought Fred Vasseur, new outlook. What his whole strategy team needs to go in the bin for starters.
Yeah, well, he did actually make
his aerodynamicist. His strategy team needs to go in the bin. The aerodynamicist needs to go in the bin because obviously something's not working there, and possibly the drivers. But that's a big shout.
Well, look, when everyone was saying at the end of last year, beginning of this year, after Binotto got the sack, they were saying, when there was all positive noises coming from Ferrari saying they've hit all their aerodynamic targets and everything, and this is going to be a good year, they're going to be fighting for the championship. Everyone said, if they are competitive and they win the championship, then you have to say that that's all down to Binotto.
Yeah.
So now you can't say this is all down to Vasseur when they're shit.
Yeah.
That is still, Vasseur's come in making changes, but the spine of that team and the bulk of it is still what Binotto put together. So it kind of makes the Binotto sacking, here's the door. Would you like to walk through it? Here, we'll help you. That actually looks like a good call now because it obviously was on the wrong track. If you're on the wrong road, turn back, as Charlie would say from Kinky Boots.
Yes. but he's very much on the wrong road, and he needs to. Yeah, no, but then I think Vasseur needs to control the changes now. He's had enough races to try and subdue the messes that they're creating.
He's got to stop the rot.
Yeah, and
They've got to learn. They got to learn from the mistakes.
Well, he's not. He's definitely not got his Dettol out. That's all I can say at the moment. And I don't quite understand what he's going to do.
Yeah, well, it's not really working so far. But I mean, give it time. You've got to give him till the end of the year, and then give him a run at next season before you start judging it realistically. But he seems to be making all the right noises, but just nothing's really changing on track, which is the concern. I mean, what's the whole thing with the tyres? Leclerc box now for hards. What about softs? Box for hards. So we're not going the softs then. We are checking. Box for hards. It's just like, what the fuck? Yeah, I haven't had a chance to properly analyse what was actually said there, but
yeah, I saw that. But like, is that like, what is going on? Like, how does that even work? With like, who has that call? I suppose the team does, because you're driving for the team. But surely the driver must be like, "Come on, lads!" Like,
so I think when it comes to a dry race in standard conditions, when you're running to a strategy, that kind of call has to be the team, because the team have all the information. But when you're in a situation where, say, you're trying to make tyres last beyond their life, or you're in tricky conditions, or it's just starting to spit with rain, then that has to be the driver's decision.
But it wasn't any of those.
In the situation in the race, yeah, the driver can kind of have an input, but it has to be the team's decision.
Yeah.
But the team didn't know what they were doing. Again.
Yeah, like that's a strategy thing, or a tyre manager thing, or whatever. Something needs to change there. It's becoming a bit.
They are struggling on time management as well. So yeah,
it's become
the only thing.
When you've got a giant bowl pushing you down, they wonder why.
The only part of the card that touches the ground, they can't get working properly. It's no wonder they're.
I would love to have seen the rain come down, because he would have got very, very wet.
Well, the rain did come down, according to one person, didn't it?
Oh yeah. What was he on about? Winch bag, sweat bags.
You said the Jeremy Clarkson meme. I sent in the Grid Talk chat. I had the scene from the film Airplane, where you got the pilot trying to land, and all the sweats running down his brow, and then I put on there like, "Is it raining, lads?" So that's the one.
Oh my god!
If you haven't seen the film Airplane,
how did he? How did I don't even understand how he's.
So I'm guessing
condensation is what he's saying.
So what
I don't even understand how sweat is going onto his visor. And then going down.
What he said was that when he put his balaclava on, his hair was sticking out from underneath his balaclava slightly. So when he was sweating, it was running down his face and into his eyes. And then when he was braking, it was then flying off his face onto his visor. Which does happen. It does happen, because I remember when I was learning to drive, my driving instructor was rear-ended by another car. Not when I was there, just she told me about the story.
Yeah.
And she said that all of her makeup went onto the windscreen that was on her face. So, like, that does happen.
Oh, you had a female driving instructor too. I had a female driving instructor.
Yeah, that's why we're both such good drivers, because female driving instructors make the best teachers.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Too much testosterone in the men.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, my first driving lesson was my dad, and less said about that, the better.
Well, there we go. Case in point. My dad would never get in a car with me, so I'd had like 5 years driving experience.
Yeah, so I don't understand. I mean, Russell genuinely trying to be Alonso and play the game out in his head. I just don't get a lot. I don't get what he's trying to do. He thinks he's all that, and he really isn't.
I mean, just let him. He likes to call the strategy from the car. But the thing is, half the time when he's calling the strategy from the car, I think one time it worked. The rest of the time, it's always the wrong strategy. So if he wants to call the strategy, let him call the strategy. If he thinks he knows better than the people that are, that it's literally their job to do it.
Or the people that can actually look out the window and go, "It's not raining out there." You fucking twat.
Did you see when he was calling in about the rain? Did you see that Christian Horner was sticking his arm out of the on the pit lane to see if
and even Brasseur was like looking around, going,
"Rain?
Really?
Is it really? Is it though? Is it?" I genuinely think that is what it says it was, but to me it sounded like a plan.
You thought it was a play, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a message that they intended.
I think it was originally. I think it would have been clever if he did do that, but then he screwed it up by saying, "Oh, I think it's wet." Just say nothing, mate. Just is anyone else?
They did it
rain?
Right.
Would have been question.
They did it right in the Red Bull pit window, didn't they?
Yeah, but saying, "Is anyone else questioning rain?" later on, fine.
That's what makes me think it's genuine. That's what makes me think it was genuine. But I wouldn't have surprised me
about the sweat. But then he went about the sweat, and I was like, "Just stop, just stop." You could have played the game a blinder there, and
Well, at least he owned up to his mistake anyway.
Yeah. He's still a knob. Yeah, and I don't know what's happening with the Alfa Romeos. I don't think they care anymore. Apart from Zhou's doing about 1,000 times better than Bottas.
Really well.
Bottas clocked out.
I don't think he wants to. I just genuinely think he just can't get on with this car at the moment. I mean, he's just not performing. Was it 19th he finished in the end, I think?
Yeah.
And then what, Zhou in the points? It's not very good at all. I need to actually have a look at the standings. I need to check where they are points-wise because I haven't actually checked that. So you've got Zhou on 4 points and Bottas on 4 points. So they're both on 4 points. So Zhou's now level with Bottas in the championship. How are they doing in the head-to-heads? Let's have a quick look at the head-to-heads. Where have we got? Standby caller. So we've got Valtteri Bottas has done 4 qualifying and 4 races, and Zhou has beaten him in 3 qualifying and 3 races. So it's very even.
Yeah.
Same amount of points, and it's 4-3 in qualifying and races. So Bottas is just shading Zhou right now, but Zhou has been all over Bottas in the last few races. And Bottas has got to watch out. I genuinely think he's got to watch out because if Alfa are going to want to get someone in that seat for when Audi arrive ready, and best will in the world, that person might be Zhou, but I think it probably isn't. So they're obviously going to target. They're going to target Lando Norris. If they can't get Lando Norris, they're probably going to target Daniel Ricciardo. And I just think they'll probably end up looking at this. They'll stick with Zhou, and then they'll oust Bottas.
Yeah, I think
the race in F1 for 10 more years still.
Well,
it's not going to happen
when they come in Audi, which is not next year, it's the year after, isn't it? 2026.
26 they come in.
Yeah, so not next year, the year after. I don't know.
The year after that.
27.
24 next year. 25. 26. We've got 2 more seasons.
Bottas is signed up. No, I think that Alfa Romeo. I don't think he'll have it. I think they'll stick with these 2 till the end of 2026.
25.
And then they'll 25. Sorry, Jesus Christ. End of 25, they'll stick with these 2, and then they'll just bin them both and bring in Lando and possibly Ricciardo if he's young enough to deal with that.
I think my prediction. I reckon they will bring in Ricciardo.
But Lando and Ricciardo again? Is that the same team?
I think they'll bring in Lando sooner rather than later because Audi are going to start wanting to shape that team now. The performance isn't necessarily where it needs to be.
Who would go in that team?
Well, anyone
would go into that team
because they're going to have a works. They're going to have a works backing very shortly after. If you go in there as the next big thing 2 years before a works deal, you're going to get a 3-year contract.
Yeah, that's the thing. You've got to make sure because if you're stuck in there and you're going to have to last 2 years in fucking Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, but I mean, Ricciardo says he didn't want to come back to F1 for anything that wasn't a car capable of winning races, but he's not going to get that. But what he might just get is a car that might be winning races in a couple of years, and if he can get
how
into
old
that
is he
scenario,
he's our age. Is my age
1, I think, something like that.
Oh, is he younger? Jesus, I'm older than Ricciardo. That's
well, I'll have to double check, but
yeah.
I'm going to have to Google this. So, he's 33. Yeah, 1989.
So hang on, 33. So he'll be my age when he's driving.
He's got another decade in him. No, if he's anything like Alonso, he's got another decade in him.
Yeah, but he's not. And bearing in mind, Alonso did take a few years out.
Yeah.
In retirement,
which I think is actually a really good strategy to elongate your career. I think that's a really good, because Hamilton was always saying about how he was never going to race into his 40s, and he wanted to take a break, but he felt that if you took a break, you could never come back. But then COVID happened, and he got a good 4 or 5 months away from the sport. And he said that refreshed him and then rejuvenated him. And
this is the thing with Verstappen. That's going to happen. The same thing with Verstappen.
Hamilton pretty much had the whole of 2020 off anyway because nobody challenged him. Yeah. And Verstappen's getting that now. He's not even trying. You can hear at the end of the race, he's like, "Yep, another win." He doesn't care. He's not even trying. Well, of course he's trying, but it's not a challenge for him. It's a Sunday drive. It's him playing on his sim rig. It's not a challenge. So he's getting his rest now. It's only going to be.
What, he's got another 5 years, 6 years in the car. That he finishes at 30, doesn't he? He retires at 30.
Well, if he finishes at 30, I'm not even sure he will. To be honest, I think.
That was what he was saying to Naomi. It was complete B team this week, wasn't it? With the pundits, Natalie Pinkham. Oh my God, she drives me up the wall. And then Bernie appeared for about 2 minutes and then vanished. I was really pissed off about that. It's like, where's Bernie? There's someone.
Not really a fan of Pinkham.
No Ted.
Yeah, Ted was away. He was on a long boat somewhere.
No Ted. No. Bernie appeared for 30 seconds and vanished. And no. And no. What's his name? Lazenby. You ended up with Natalie Pinkham covering Lazenby, Rachel, who I love, in the pits covering Ted, Anthony Davidson being Anthony Davidson on.
Yeah, she's good. Rachel Brooks.
Yeah,
and Anthony Davidson's good as well.
Yeah,
Rachel to be Brooks. Honest,
Anthony Davidson on the SkyPad, grand.
But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Sky coverage anyway. But it's only because I can't legally get F1 TV, so I can't watch it, even if you did find other means. Not that I do this, but if you find other means of having F1 TV, can't really play it on the TV in a really kind of in a way that works well.
I just feel you should stop talking, Tom.
Yeah, probably. Okay, I have a VPN. I have F1 TV. Okay, but I still watch Sky. I still pay for Sky and I pay for F1 TV. So I still
can I just point out something?
Go on.
I have F1 TV and a VPN, but I don't have F1 TV. You guys are still yours.
Do you actually steal mine? Did I give you the login details? Oh, okay. I forgot I did that.
Yep.
I might have to change the password.
I don't ever watch it. I don't ever watch it. I don't ever actually click onto it, but I know it. There you go. It's even what's worse than having a VPN? Stealing someone else's.
I gave you that so you could watch the F2, wasn't it? When we used to talk about F2 a lot more. Yeah. I gave you that so you could watch the highlights for F2. So yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. No, I've been watching it.
I don't ever watch it.
I have been watching it a lot more recently, actually. To be fair, I prefer the broadcast team. I'm not a massive fan of Buxton, but I like Alex Jakes.
Is Alex Jakes that stupid doofus with the afro?
No, that's Sam Collins, and he's not a stupid doofus. He's
a
very knowledgeable man.
He is.
He's a tech
very
expert.
Knowledgeable. He is very knowledgeable, but Jesus Christ. He would bore you into the next planet.
Oh my
God.
I'll have a beer.
You would, because you like geeky people.
Yeah. That's why I like you. Well, I say that.
I mean, bless him. He's definitely on the spectrum.
We're all a little bit on the spectrum.
I know.
But yeah, so with all that, it
was a very boring race. I had nothing to discuss.
Boring race that had just far too many overtakes in it, according to Carl. So, as I said, we're not looking at the championship leader because there's no point. Sergio Perez, despite his incompetence, still remains in second place on 117 points. Alonso 99 points. Hamilton closing in 87. Russell 65. Sainz 58 points, the first Ferrari driver. Then Leclerc on 42. Stroll still 35, still a third of the points of Alonso, despite beating him. Decent performance from Stroll actually this time around, but just I think more Alonso throwing it off, to be honest. Because let's be honest, if Alonso had done his usual podium trick, but then say, well, Lance Stroll in 6th place, still not doing the job. So yeah, and then we got you got the Alpines with 15 and 25 respectively. After that for the top 10 constructors, though, we have a new team in 2nd place. It's Mercedes. They've jumped well clear of Aston Martin, 152 to 134 now. Ferrari 100 points with Alpine in the pocket there with 40 points in 5th. Then McLaren back in 6th with 17. So then we've got Haas on 8, Alpha on 8 as well. And then AlphaTauri 2, Williams 1. But, they'll just pick up the odd point here and there between now and the end of the season.
Cool.
And we've got Canada next.
Yay. I quite like Canada.
I don't know what's going to happen with Canada because I'm in Salzburg.
Oh, are you?
Flying back on Tuesday. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to podcast Tuesday evening. Might have to be a late one.
All right.
But yeah, I'm in Salzburg. I'm leaving for Salzburg on Friday morning and I'm back Tuesday.
Okay.
So I will be at Hangar 7 at one point, which is where I think it's Hangar 7, where the Red Bull base of operations.
Nice.
So
take some pictures.
Yeah, I took loads of pictures last time. I'll take more. It's actually at the airport, so we'll probably do it on our way out after we picked up the hire car.
Nice. I can do the 21st anyway, and the 19th, so whatever.
Great. Excellent. Okay, so next week's podcast will be a little bit late, but it'll be worth it because Canada's a great race.
Yes.
Love Canada. It's always a good one. Always a cracker.
It's Father's Day as well.
Yes, it is. So I'm going to be leaving my dad's Father's Day present here.
Nice.
For him. Should we just quickly do our driver and dick of the day?
Driver of the day is either Shakira's boyfriend or...
I hope that's true.
Or the guy that takes pictures with very tall people. True.
Okay. So who are you going for then?
It's either one of those in my mind.
Okay. I'm not... Well, you better go for Sonoda then, because if you don't go for Hamilton, if you go for Hamilton, then I'm going to go for Russell.
Oh no!
So if you go Sonoda, then I'll go Hamilton.
Go Sonoda. I'm going Sonoda,
and I'll go Hamilton. There we go. Dick of the day,
Russell.
Standard.
Standard.
Perez.
I mean, hang on. Let's go for the usuals. There's Russell, Perez,
Leclerc,
Ferrari team, Leclerc. Well, no, Leclerc.
He didn't perform. He just didn't perform. Norris for getting our hopes up.
That's not dick move. Yeah, no, Norris wasn't a dick move.
He was. He got our hopes up and then
drove into Hamilton.
and then rammed into Hamilton.
That was quite dickish. You could say Sonoda because he got a bit twitchy with
Joe for getting Sonoda a penalty.
I don't know. Or just Spain for being such a shit track.
No. No, I don't agree with that. That is much better with that final chicane gone.
Yeah, it is.
Much better.
I agree.
We were doing on the Grid Talk, there were 5 of us playing racing yesterday on F1 2022 and we were going around the Spanish track. And of course, we had to go around the chicane. And every time we do, we're like, "Oh, fuck this chicane! It's horrible." We've seen better things now. The trouble is, you can take the old layout if you want to, but you get a 10-second penalty.
Is F123 out yet?
It comes out the day I fly to Salzburg.
All right, because I saw Lando Norris playing Las Vegas on it.
Yeah.
Driving Las Vegas on it, going, I don't know where I'm going. I was like, brilliant.
Yeah. No, I have ordered it, but it's arriving. I've ordered a physical copy because it's £15 cheaper than the digital copy, so why not? And
do you have to play on Xbox though?
No, I'm PlayStation.
No, join your chat. Oh, you're on the PlayStation, sorry.
Yeah. But with the Grid Talk guys, you cross-play's enabled on it, so you can play across different consoles.
I never knew that.
Yeah, because Louis is on.
Because I've got F22 upstairs.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Yeah, so we got people on PC, we got people on PlayStation, and I don't think we got any Xboxes because they've got taste on Grid Talk. So yeah, great. Okay, well let's head off then. I guess that was
cool,
good fun, and we'll see you.
I've got to go and watch Love Island.
Oh God, is that on? Is it? Great.
Yeah, started yesterday. Love Island, here we come, baby.
I'm going. Is it raining? Oh wait, no. I'm just.